Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. To start things off, it says Bitcoin has mimicked gains on Wall Street and registered a new monthly high at over 11,700 US dollars. Binance coin has surged by 8% and is now in the 5th spot on the crypto market cap. Bitcoin has continued with its recent impressive performance to a new monthly high of about 11,700 US dollars that it hit yesterday night, I believe it was. Some altcoins have followed Bitcoin on the way up. Ethereum has increased to 385 US dollars, while Binance coin has returned to the 5th spot. In the past 24 hours, the primary cryptocurrency seemed to have issues with its price performance. After trading at about 11,400 for a few hours, Bitcoin headed down and bottomed at around $11,200 on Binance. However, the bulls intercepted the move and initiated an impressive leg up. Bitcoin firstly reclaimed 11,500 and then 11,720 US dollars. I am seeing a rather large amount of, first of all, how does one say this? The energy has re-entered the cryptocurrency space once again. The 3 or 4 day surges that we have been experiencing, I think since, what was it, last Thursday or Friday, in Bitcoin's price seemingly have reinvigorated people within the cryptocurrency space to say or think or believe that Bitcoin is capable of, once again, very amazing things. One of the main things that does bother me, or had a little scratch in my neck from it that doesn't make any sense, is that a lot of people have been writing that there's a new correlation between the prices of Bitcoin and things on Wall Street and the stock exchanges, as stocks seemingly are going up a tiny bit. The cryptocurrency market has also been doing the exact same. This bothers me because, one, there should be no correlation between us and the stock market. Two, if there is any correlation, it should just simply be a negative correlation, especially with all the trillions of dollars being printed. And three, if you've been paying attention to financial news since around July, there's an event happening in November. We all know what that event is. And it's expected that stocks are not going to fare very well, simply because of confusion, uncertainty, whatever word you want to use. But in the beginning of November, it's expected that it's going to be a very wild ride. And this worries me because if we are correlated, if people keep saying that there is a correlation, or if we are actually moving in tandem with stock prices, if they fall because of hyper uncertainty, well, then we are probably going to also fall as well. At the same exact time, you can even see it right here. It says Bitcoin decouples from legacy markets as breathtaking rally predicted. I'm seeing articles talking about that we are correlated. We are tied to the stock market. The stock market has rallied. We have gone up as well at the same exact time. There are a number of things saying that we are not correlated. We are not following the stock market anymore. And I'm getting a lot of articles talking about a breathtaking rally, something that's going to blow everybody's socks off. Or what was the other term that we had last week? It was like melting faces or something ridiculous like that. I don't know where people even got that idea from. This one says roughly the exact ish. It says Bitcoin to $1 million by 2025. This was said by Raoul Pal. Raoul Pal is not the only one saying this. It is Shamath Palpataya. I know I said his name wrong again. Many other people are estimating that by the year 2023 to 2025, we will be seeing a $500,000 Bitcoin to a $1 million Bitcoin. They have their own charts. They have their own this. They have their own so-and-sos where they all say that the price is going. But I've noticed that we only get news like this whenever Bitcoin's price starts. When Bitcoin goes up by around $600, this is when these predictions start free-flowing once again. But the interesting part always for me is that it's not always just one person who's kind of like, $1 million. It's always a good batch of people who are coming to the same conclusion. And I mean, roughly at this point, if you want my honest answer, I think 500,000 looks the same as $1 million. As far as if we get to a $200,000 Bitcoin already will be the strongest world currency, and people will start pegging things to it with a $4 trillion market cap. nonetheless, the discussion of other people rapidly flying into the Bitcoin space to try and get a fragment of something that they should have gotten in 2020 or in 2017 or any other time frame before. This one says Bitcoin whale growth is... Oh, this is also another really big one. It says Bitcoin whale growth is slowing, flagging possible bull run. This was said in a report by Glassnode. Glassnode has said that over the last month or so, they've noticed that the number of bull... How do I say this? The number of whales in the cryptocurrency space have slowed down their accumulation of Bitcoin. And they think it's either one of two things. Either mathematically on the chart, we see that bulls that... Why do I keep saying bulls? I keep looking at this word. They keep saying that the whales in the cryptocurrency space aren't accumulating as much because mathematically maybe retail investors or other people within the space, and they account for this as people with over 1,000 Bitcoin per address. That maybe mathematically other people, normal people, or other institutions are starting to accumulate as well, and therefore their growth doesn't look as impressive. Or on the other flip side, they say that it's probably that they've accumulated enough, that they are full, as it were, and they have as much as they believe that they should have for the next leg up of the bull run race moving forward, and therefore they have enough mathematically that they are going to become hyper rich from this. And that's what they said. There's a lot of bull run reports, bull run news, bull run movements, bull run going up. Like the one that we had yesterday that said that we are going to hit 16,000. This one says Bitcoin likely to reach 12,000 following robust weekly close, claims traders. These were not the only 5 articles talking about that Bitcoin is going to do something massive. There were many. All indicating Bitcoin is looking like it is going to do something absolutely explosive over the couple next months, I even want to say. None of them had a 2021 timeframe. There was also, I don't think I have it in this one. There was another one saying that it looks like we are mimicking the, what was it? I think it was 2012 / 2014, 15 / 16 movements in the market. Basically, the halving situations, people assuming that something major is going to happen the day of the halving, and then I think it's always like, what is it, 9 months or some really weird time frame later. That's when Bitcoin begins to move upward. Anyway, we'll see if it happens. We have no choice but to see if it happens because, once again, time will continue moving forward. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to see all the optimism in the space. For some reason, when Bitcoin's price goes down by $350, everyone's like, oh boy, slow Bitcoin price again. But the moment it jacks up by $800, like... we get all this news about a $16,000 Bitcoin, a face-melting bull run, and $1 million Bitcoin in 5 years. Is it all going to happen? No one knows, but at least rich people are optimistic about it. I don't know how to end that sentence. And without further ado, let's move on. Also, in another reason why the market seemingly has moved higher, the long-awaited migration to Ethereum 2.0 is a step closer today, as another recently launched testnet called Tsinkin has been running smoothly. A currently running Ethereum 2.0 testnet called Tsinkin, which was launched on Monday, has been performing perfectly according to one of the developers and participants. Tsinkin is a shortened, yeah, makes sense, testnet just like the one before, which was called Spadina, which is aimed at giving clients a chance to iron out issues, validators, mining process, yada, yada, yada. Developer Terrence Tsao also recently tweeted the performance of the testnet, saying that it's been running good over the past 24 hours. Where's the other really important part? According to the Beacon Chain Tsinkin Blockchain Explorer, there are currently over 136,000 simulated Ether, or Guther, I assume that's his Gorley Ether, staked on the testnet, and 4,269 active validators. The other news that we had, I think it was somewhere right here. Apparently, it has been announced, it has been said that we are currently on track for Ethereum 2.0 Phase 0 in the coming weeks. Not in 2021, but it's going to apparently be very soon. Apparently, Tsinkin was the second and final testnet. meaning it must say it's somewhere inside here. I'm pretty sure I just read it, that they are now only trying to figure out a date to give everyone as to when this is all going to launch. So yes, we had the first testnet, wherever it was called, Baba Boobala, and then we had Spadina and now Tsinkin. Tsinkin apparently is working very well, and apparently the next step, according to one of the developers, I'm pretty sure I read this, is just giving everyone a mainnet launch date. So I assume off of the news that the second and final testnet was performing quite well, and that within the next couple of days, we should be receiving an Ethereum 2.0 launch date. The time that we had before, or the time frame, was still November. If that happens in November, that means November is going to be absolutely nuts. Yeah. So we're going to get it apparently soon. Maybe the next 6 weeks. Is that too optimistic of me? Anyway, without further ado, let's move on. In one of the sadder news stories of the day, like actually incredibly sad, Ripple's chief technology officer, David Schwartz, has revealed that he and his wife decided to make a de-risking plan for their crypto investments in 2012, resulting in 8 figures worth of missed profits at current prices. Who makes a de-risking plan for crypto in 2012? In a series of tweets published on the 11th of October, Schwartz revealed that he sold 40,000 Ether for $1 each. Wow. A stash that would be worth more than $15 million at today's prices. And that's not even if Ethereum 34812, if Ethereum just goes back to its previous all-time high, that is $46 million. Wow. The Ripple XRP executive also said that he regretted selling a significant sum of Bitcoin for, He sold a significant sum of Bitcoin for $750 and a large trove of XRP at 10 cents, but did not reveal the volume of the... Wow, that's terrible. That means he sold all of that spring 2017. Do you all remember? I'm sure many of you do. Whoever has been here for this long, I really tip my digital hat to you because you are the originals for this channel. When I told people about XRP at half a cent, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to go over $1. That means that one of the people for the company didn't even believe that it could go over $1, and he sold at 10 cents. And then we also saw XRP that same year go to 1 cent, 10 cents, $1, and $3.60. That alone is a huge regret. Imagine selling your XRP at 10 cents and by 9 months later, it was at $3.60. And I'm going to assume he probably did not have 10,000 XRP, 100,000 XRP. I'm pretty sure because back then, I think it was $1,000 gave you, I think, 120,000 XRP. So it's safe to assume he had over 1 million. That I told you it was going to be a very sad story. He said, my decision to de-risk was made in 2012 or so when I discussed investing in cryptocurrencies with my wife. She insisted we agree on a de-risking plan right then. Terrible idea. Don't trust her anymore. And I must say that every Bitcoin I sold for $750 or XRP for 10 cents hurt. Oh my. That's like a pizza guy level sadness right there. Like that is really intense. Schwartz revealed his early conservative downsizing while responding to Twitter user Pubizerks, who claimed that anyone pushing XRP while de-risking is exit scamming. And first of all, don't listen to idiots like that. Don't listen to anyone. Whatever you decide to get into in the cryptocurrency space, that's your own business. Don't listen to anyone telling you that you shouldn't be cashing out or you shouldn't be doing anything. Like, first of all, one, that's your money. It's just a matter of after you've cashed out, you might be in a situation like this guy. The user who was not speaking about Schwartz specifically said, you can't go around trying to build faith in others for XRP while you yourself have no faith in it and feel de-risking is your best option. First of all, shut up. The news story is, I don't know this guy, but I assume if you have an ounce of empathy, sympathy in your heart, that hurts. 40,000 Ether. Can you imagine realizing that you sold $15 million for $4,000? Anyway, yeah, this is quite popular news as well, as one might have imagined. I don't really know what more to say. I think it hurts me just talking about this. Anyway, without further ado, I mean, wow. Jeez. All right, let's move on. Tether continues to dominate the news for whatever reason. Stablecoin Tether's dominance for crypto trading pairs has surged over the past 3 years, so much that it now accounts for almost 3/4 of all exchange pairs, according to a recent research. Back in 2017, crypto trading pairs were primarily made in Bitcoin, which is what partially boosted it on its way to an all-time high of 20,000. For those of you who don't know what that's talking about, before stablecoins really took hold, whenever there was danger, scaredness in the market, people would cash out of their altcoins and push everything into Bitcoin. We didn't have a situation where people could cash out and simply go into Tether or the other 99 stablecoins that we have. It's what led to those really crazy price fluctuations in Bitcoin. It's because whenever there was any type of fear in the market, everything went into Bitcoin, and sometimes Bitcoin would have a surge of 14, 15% in a day. That was the reason. Prices for altcoins were suggested in Satoshis before dollars, but the rise of stablecoins changed all that. Today, stablecoins dominate crypto trading. Tether is the king. According to research by The Block and retweeted by Unfolded, Tether accounted for only about 5% of the trade volume in 2017, with Bitcoin commanding 50%. And Fiat doing around 40%. Fast forward to 2020, and as much as 70% of the volume is dominated just by Tether. I guess this is why the news that we got, what was it, a day or two ago, that apparently, allegedly, that Tether is going to become the number 2 coin as it pushes Ethereum out of that spot. With Ethereum 2.0 coming, I don't think that's going to actually be a thing. I believe myself. I don't know if this is going to come true. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a wizard. I'm not a wizard. I do assume that the next bull run is going to be charged by the news that we are going to be getting Ethereum 2.0. A week or two later, figuring out that Ethereum 2.0 works and figuring out that a huge amount of Ether has been locked up inside of it for staking purposes, and also the DeFi coins going completely insane because now they have more transaction volume to be able to wiggle around in. That's what I believe is going to cause the next bull run. More because all the other news that we've been getting of, actual buying of these assets and the scarcity of these assets and the $500 million of these assets being purchased by one company, not doing anything to the prices. I assume we're just going to have a hype train that's going to kind of get us there. Tether's in the news every single day. This was not the only Tether news. It's the one that I chose to have inside of here, this news video. I'm not sure what the fascination is. Like, I get it. Like, I understand that Tether is a very big thing, but there's so much focus on Tether either being wrong or incorrect or not being right or needing to be, audited or this or that it's just constantly focused on all the time. Anyway, that's the Tether news for today, and we're just going to move on. Also, in very, very popular news, Grayscale Investments says the registration statement on Form 10 that it filed with the SEC on behalf of the Ethereum Trust has become effective or active. This means that their Ethereum Trust is now an official SEC reporting company and the second digital asset currency investment product to achieve the milestone. Grayscale's Bitcoin, maybe that's also why the price went up, but I doubt it. I don't assume that Ether's price moves on Grayscale news. Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, or the GBTC, is the first investment product to attain the status after its filing became effective at the beginning of this year. An organization becomes an SEC reporting company, or a public company, upon registration pursuant to Section 12G of the SEC Act of 1934. That's going to soon be 100 years behind us. Consequently, the Grayscale Ethereum Trust will now file its quarterly and annual reports, including its financial statements, on Form Q. Who cares about all that stuff? Still, the world's largest digital currency asset manager elaborated that This voluntary filing should not be confused as an effort to classify Grayscale as an ETF. The structure of the trust will not change, and it will continue to not operate at a redemption program nor trade on a national securities exchange. Very popular. I assume this has to do with compliance. Duh. Them trying to become a more, I don't want to use the word regulated, but I think that's exactly what it is. Grayscale has a very huge advantage. They are, according to multiple reports, the largest holder custody solution company on the planet right now, and I assume they're not going to be stopping that anytime soon. Like, I don't assume Grayscale is going to be like, well, we run out of money. I think that's going to be it, guys. I think we're fine. I think they're going to continue until they get, if you had a situation where you were a company and you could keep having money funneled into you so that you owned 1 out of every 10 Bitcoin, you would probably do so. We're going to get into that in the next story as well. Regulation is very real. It is very shadowy and dark cloudy over the cryptocurrency space right now, and I assume they're just doing this to make sure that they are at the head of the pack, because everyone else is trying to do the exact same thing, making sure that they're regulated, because it's believed that if you are hyper regulated, that you can get the money flowing into your trust, into your bank account, as it were. Yeah, not really major news, but this was very popular. Of course, they're going to do so. It still boggles my mind that this news doesn't really shake markets, that it doesn't really get people like, oh my gosh, look at how much Bitcoin and Ether they have. But all right, let's move on. And to finish things off, international financial authorities. Here's the big news story of the day. International financial authorities and 20 of the world's largest economies are establishing official standards for regulating and issuing sovereign digital currencies. The Group of 20, or the G20, an organization of finance ministers and central bank governors representing the European Union and 19 countries across every continent, said in a report today that it is working with the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the Bank for International Settlements to formalize the use of central bank digital currencies in banking systems. According to the report, by the end of 2022, the G20 members, the IMF, the World Bank, and the BIS will have completed regulatory stablecoin frameworks and research and selection of central bank digital currency designs, technologies, and experiments. Where's the really important part? Stablecoins are digital currencies. We know what they are. The IMF and the World Bank. Here we go. The IMF and the World Bank have been selected and will have technical capabilities to facilitate central bank digital currency transactions between the countries by the end of 2025. This tells me that the IMF and first of all, I think the old banking system is gone. It's vanishing. SWIFT is no longer going to be a thing. And this sentence right here tells me that the World Bank and the IMF are probably going to be the nodes for the new system. It reads as if they are going to be validating the transactions that are happening between all the different countries, and they will have the final say as to if something is going to be blacklisted or greenlisted or whitelisted or whatever other color listed. It looks like the framework won't be done until by the end of 2022, which I mentioned before. It's going to take them a while to be able to do it. They're actually doing it a lot quicker than I assumed. I assumed by the end of this decade is when they'd finally get things together. But I was half correct. 2025 is probably when they will all have central bank digital currencies. I don't know if it says it somewhere around here as well. The countries will examine the scope of new multilateral platforms, global stablecoin arrangements, and central bank digital currencies to address the challenges the cross-border payments face without compromising on minimum supervisory. Yeah, the AML KYC is going to go through the roof because it's no longer going to be this fragmented system. It's probably we're going to see the current system, the legacy system, move simply into a 2.0. There are a lot of countries who are currently right now not allowed to be in the current financial system. There's a plethora of them. It's not like it's only 3 or 4. There are multiple countries who are either sanctioned, who are not part of SWIFT, who have very little banks in their country because banks don't like to deal with poor people. I said it. That's basically what it is. So what we're probably going to move into is another system that's going to simply be incredibly digital, that's going to use the IMF, the BIS, and the World Bank as its nodes. If you in the cryptocurrency space, you understand what a node is as a validator for transactions, but it's still only going to allow countries who are not under sanctions, who are not under whatever other situation, to not be able to enter this new space as well. The really interesting part is the other countries who are under sanctions or who are under whatever probably know this as well. And this is why the news that we got that there are 9 other countries, at least that we know about, who are under some form of sanctions, who have not been allowed into the current system. The rumors were that they were all collecting and gathering up Bitcoin. If we're getting news that by 2025, this system is going to be done, but we're also getting speculation that Bitcoin will be worth $1 million by then, that means the other countries who've been collecting Bitcoin, not only are they going to be the richest countries on the planet, they'll also have their own system where they can simply just trade amongst themselves, and they won't actually have to worry about this other system as well. So we're entering very interesting times. I don't know if it's somewhere around here as well. This one also is relatively similar. It says the USA, the United Kingdom, Canada, and Japan have released a joint report on central bank digital currencies. Sure, why not? I assume they're doing this on their own accord, and then they're simply passing it on to the IMF and the BIS and the World Bank because this is simply how things have to work. I was looking to see if it said it inside here, but I don't think it does. Somewhere around here. It says Facebook Libra, but it's not the same. There was another report that said that all countries are making their own framework right now, and that they won't allow Libra to launch until Libra has adequate... Basically, until Libra falls in line into everything that they're trying to say. So it seems that they're comfortable with letting Libra launch, but it's going to be a very different Libra. I wonder how Facebook is going to do this. Like, I feel like if they launched, no one would really be able to stop them. I think it would take countries about a good 2 or 3 weeks. There'll be certain countries who would try to block the issuance of this coin, but if it's already issued, the idea that countries would block Facebook is probably not ever going to happen. We had news 3 weeks ago that Facebook was looking to move out of the European Union, and that shook markets because it's Facebook. I feel like if Facebook launched this coin into the markets, no one would really be able to stop them. I think people would be upset that they did so. But if you become the largest bank overnight, no one can really say anything about what you've been doing. Especially, remember the news that we got last year that the people from Facebook were talking to other countries? And like these countries, I think, also wanted to be nodes or validators or something like that as well. And they were countries, tying directly into it, they were countries who aren't currently part of the SWIFT system, who aren't currently part of the world financial system in the way that many other mega countries are. So you wouldn't really be able to stop them. And this is why I don't have the news story in here, but the news was that they are trying to actively make sure that Facebook does not launch Libra until they fall in line with the other regulatory rules that all these other countries are building up. Anyway, yeah, it is fairly obvious. We've had far too much central bank digital currency news this year. Far too much. It's been every other day. From January, February, from them telling us, no, we're not going to have these things for decades and decades. They're simply not viable, to around April, to them screaming at the top of their lungs that they were going to make them. And now I guess we have a relative time frame, but it's still going to be garbage. I'm telling you, it's not going to be what people are expecting that it's going to be. It's going to be incredibly fragmented. I think we're going to enter a situation where many people around the world are going to be forced to actually use these things. And if we do have $1 million, listen, if we have a $100,000 Bitcoin, the old system is done. Not only because Bitcoin will mathematically be strong enough to kind of usurp the old system, it's going to be because of greed. Everyone's going to realize I should have gotten into Bitcoin when it was at 11,000. It's at 100K, and we start getting news reports that Bitcoin is at 100K and it's going to go to 1 million at some point in the next couple of years. people will only start buying Bitcoin. And then when more things are denominated in Bitcoin, Bitcoin will have won. Like there's no way around this. There's literally no way around it. Anyway, yeah, that's the stablecoin central bank digital currency news. If you kind of want to, I was going to say if you want to file it into that category, that's exactly what the news was. So you got to file it into that category. Anyway, moving on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunby University, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain Decentralized, Peter, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Nostromo, John Sarson, the Animal Reader, Abiliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Morham Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mon, Jelivori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hish, Just Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Body McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Arfmedic17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lana, Crayola, Michelle, URL, and Bolero, Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your support at the moment. Bitcoin is currently at 11,482 US dollars. We reached, it was 11,700, 800, right around here. We slipped down a tiny bit. All the other coins follow the same movement up and also relatively the same movement back down. We will see where the rest of the day takes us. Ethereum is still up. I think the biggest winner of the top 10 is Cardano. It is at 11 cents. It's up by 6.5%. No real Cardano news, but I like the fact that it's actually moving. Someone mentioned in the comment section about a day or two ago, I'm pretty sure I must have clarified this. Someone was asking, I think they said, do I still believe that Cardano can do a 25x or something like, I don't remember the exact wording that they used. My main goal for Cardano, my vision has always been for Cardano to reach $1. I have a feeling that I'm going to be in a David Schwartz kind of position because I plan on cashing out a huge portion of my Cardano at $1 so I can do other fantastic things. But I do believe that it's going to go higher. I do think that Cardano is probably going to pass by. I think its previous all-time high was 120 or 130. I think we will probably pass that. I can even foresee a $2 or $3 Cardano. But for the sake of my sanity, I'm going to be cashing out a large portion of the Cardano that I hold at $1 because I have property to buy. Any other really significant things around here? Not that I can see. The amount of wrapped Bitcoin. This is steadily increasing in the cryptocurrency rankings if you haven't been paying attention. When we first saw wrapped Bitcoin, there were 92,000 wrapped Bitcoin and then 93,000, then 95 yesterday. Now there's 98,000 wrapped Bitcoin in the system. A friend of mine is really funny. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, I don't remember the name of it. A friend of mine actually helped, I believe, to create, I think, a brand new crypto that's something similar to wrapped Bitcoin. But their premise is that they kind of lock up the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin gets burned. Yeah, it's really intense out here, but apparently this is also picking up steam as well. I don't know what the market for Bitcoin would look like. Like the idea of a wrapped Bitcoin is that you lock up your Bitcoin and an Ethereum protocol to be able to use the value of Bitcoin on top of Ethereum. Future, million transactions per second, yada, yada, yada. What would the market look like if 98,000 Bitcoin had been locked inside of an Ethereum protocol, but they were burned? So you were able to deal in the value of Bitcoin on top of Ethereum for however long you choose to do so, forever and ever. But we never saw those Bitcoin back again. Like imagine a situation where there's like 250,000 Bitcoin locked into that protocol, but they're also burned. And you can't get them out. You have the value of Bitcoin forever, but the 21 million Bitcoin no longer exists because 250,000 of them have been burned. Quite fascinating indeed. Yeah. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.